Hello and welcome to this Studio Brutal tutorial. Here I'm going to show you what these Tetris symbols do on Ableton Operator. They're the routings and they're quite important in FM. So yeah, I'm just going to show you what each one does, how they're different, and a quick preset for each one so you can see and hear what they do. This is part of an Operator tutorial that's on the website. I'll link it below, and there's also a load of free patches for Operator as well that you can get in the link below. So yeah, go and get them, have a look at them, and yeah, when you're down there, please like and subscribe. It'll really help the channel. Thanks a lot. So yeah, let's get into it. So basically you've got these icons here. They're like, if you click on, if Operator is here, the bottom right panel will change the screen to the routings. These Tetris-like icons here. So let me just, I've got a kick drum, I'll switch that off. So yeah, this is just, let me just pull up the initial patch. The initial Operator patch sounds like this. I've just drawn a long MIDI note for the sake of this tutorial, which, so you can just hear that sine wave. It's like a fairly boring bleep. And if I add in B, you're not hearing B. Right now you're not hearing B, you're hearing B's effect on A. And the reason for that is you can see this routing, it goes, yellow is the only one that's routed down to the output. So we can only hear A, and then we're going to hear what B does to A. It's frequency modulating it. And then if we bring in C, C is modulating B only. If we bring in D, then we get quite a thick sound because we've got 4 Operator FM. Turn it down a bit. We've got 4 Operator FM, and that's what. So you've got. So you're just hearing A, B is modulating A, C is modulating B, and D is modulating C. So by the time it gets to D, it's a really thick modulated sound. I'll give you a quick patch example. That is the envelope of B I've cut down, so I'll switch that off as well. So you can hear it. So you've just got frequency modulation coming in for this quick envelope, and then if I pitch C up, that's pitching up the frequency modulation and affecting B, and then I can add more in there. An extra layer of FM basically. So yeah, that is like traditional FM all the way over to the left. It is yeah, one, you're only hearing one, and it's being modulated by the other 3. I should say as well, at this point you can use feedback, so you can get more FM. I won't go into that now, but yeah, you can add in another layer of FM there with feedback if you want. But yeah, so that's that routing. 4 Operator FM, and then I'm just gonna switch to the N one next, because let me reset Operator back to its state. Okay, same patch. All you're hearing right now is A, but this one you can see if you switch to the N tab, you can see that each oscillator or operator, as they're called in FM, is patched straight down. So there's absolutely no FM in this. This is like an analog synth routing. It's like you've got 4 oscillators and they're all just routed to the output or to the filter. And if you bring them in, they're not going to frequency modulate each other. You're just going to hear all of them. So I'm just going to bring them all in. If I turn that down, you're hearing both A and B at the moment, and C, and you can get thick detuned sounds by detuning them a bit. Obviously, you can change. Change all the waveforms and stuff, but that's it. There's no frequency modulation. You're just hearing all of them. This is quite good. I mean, it's good for everything. You can get thick detuned sounds. Like if I put them all on short wave, I'll make them all the same one by copying from A and then detune them all a bit. You can get like a really thick sort of, and lower it down. This pitch thing is pitching it down an octave. That's how you get sort of those drum and bass lines. Well, it's the starting point anyway. This is analog synthesis. It is 4 separate oscillators routed to the output. There's nothing frequency modulating. So this is the least frequency FM, and this one here on the left is the sort of the most, the standard, because it's one into the other. Right. All the ones in between are a mixture, and they're different mixtures. So I'm going to go through them now. I'll start with this one. I'll start with a fresh patch. So yeah, this one here is, you can see now it's A, and then A is only affected by B. If I change any of the others, it will not do nothing, because it's only B that's affecting A. However, both C and D frequency modulate B. So these two, D and C, you can see on the diagram, go to B, and B goes to A. So how would you use this? I often, to be honest, I honestly wouldn't use it so very much, but I will show you a patch. So let's say you want to, it's quite a nice bass tone, I'll pitch it up. So yeah, so B is modulating A and B is an octave down. So yes, C. So I'll make it early, I'll make C come in early. You can hear that, like a punchy click at the top. I've just dropped the envelope down so it's tight, pitched it up. Then D I'm going to make come in later. So now, yeah, so now you've got some bass coming in later from D and a really tight pitch at the start. You can also loop these envelopes, which is quite nice. It's quite crazy sounds. So yeah, that's when you want to have two different FM operators basically, that on B and then that on A. You can get quite nuts with the looped envelopes, but again I won't go into that. That'll be in the tutorial below. I'll do a separate video on that. But yeah, for now I'm just going to stick to the routings. Next one, again this is obvious, it's just B. It's like the one before a little bit. D and B both frequency modulate A, and then C modulates B again, but not D. It's quite complex FM. You can get some fairly crazy tones out of these things for techno and stuff, but yeah, I honestly don't use this routing very much, but it's useful to know about and what it does. So yeah, if you put an envelope, I'll loop this envelope again. See, you can get some funny tones out of it like that. But yeah, it is it's a weird one. It's a weird one, this. You often won't find yourself using C or D or splitting FM like that. But it's possible, especially for like pads and drones and long evolving stuff. You can have complex layers of FM. Yeah, okay, the next one, this is fairly obvious. I'm just going to reset the patch because it's nuts. Yeah, this is A. Again, all of these so far to here and to the left, you're only hearing A. And then they're just different frequency modulations of the other oscillators on A. So yeah, this one, fairly self-explanatory. You've got separate frequency modulation, D and B. I'll do an early envelope. I hope you can hear that. And then a late modulation. So if you so you've got like C bringing it down, B making a tight high course high pitch, and then C bringing it down into like a bass tone. And then if you add in D is going to frequency modulate both C and B. Pretty nuts, that one. Yeah, again, this sort of thing is really good for pads and drones where you just want I'd make everything really slow, long envelopes, so they move in and out of each other, and it's quite complex, like complex layers of FM. Right, this next one is is quite nice. The best ones, in my opinion, are, like I said at the start, the pure FM and pure analog synthesis. The best ones are the ones in the middle where you get analog, a combination of two, and this one is what I would call a combination of analog and FM, because you've got B and A, they're both going to the output, so there's no FM now. If I've just got B and A on, you can see they're both routed to the output on that little Tetris symbol, so there's no FM between them, they are separate, so you can detune them. this can start. This is really good for like making EBM or industrial hits, which I like. So you get this thick Reese sound, analog synthesis, subtractive synthesis, whatever you want to call it. It's just two oscillators routed to the effect, no FM, and then C is going to add FM to them both. And then D is going to add FM to C, which is going to... You can start to get into EBM territory, especially if you use tight envelopes. And I haven't used the filter yet, but if you were to filter this down, you can start to get some nice industrial hits. But yeah, so yeah, you've got the best of both worlds here. I like these. I'll switch the filter up. But yeah, I like these. Just turn that down. I like that you have analog synthesis and FM really well. Also, it's got a good operator's got a really good distortion at the filter, which I won't go into now. So it's got analog modeling and FM. So you can set up a tuned analog patch and then give it some FM and get into crazy territory. And you can make these really cool sort of techno drones and stuff like that, because you've got sort of like, yeah, you've got the thick detuned analog sound plus the digital nastiness, and yeah, it's really good for these sort of techno sirens. And if you cut it short for EBM hits, again, the next one is similar in that both B, I use this one a lot, B and D go to the output. Again, you can detune them against each other, that analog sound, and then you can add in FM. But FM is only going on to B, and the reason why that is really good is I don't use this actually for detuned sounds. I use this for when I want to do FM, and I'll just start with B and add in I'll just make them all sideways. Actually I won't. So let's say I want to make an EBM patch with tight quite nasty short. Let me cut it short in the filter as well. So sort of like a little techno stab like that. Could tweak it for ages, but you get the point. Little EBM sort of sound. Then A, because A is totally separate, I'm just going to leave that as a sine wave and add it in, and it's going to be a sub oscillator. So this is when you want to do FM with the sub oscillator, and A is going to be the sub. If you've got headphones, you'll hear that just coming in now. So you can have these really nice little EBM hits. Let me. That's probably better MIDI for an EBM hit. That's without A. So yeah, you can start to get into that. It's really good for EBM sound design, these ones basically. Let me just loop it back, that one. So yeah, this one, like the reverse L I suppose you call it, is it's really good for FM with a sub bass oscillator. This one is, again, this is pure FM. It is, but for like detuned FM, it really thick sounds. So A is the only one you can hear, and then the others are the three. So you've got three FM oscillators only affecting A. And so you can get quite detuned FM. So these three are detuned against each other, and then they're affecting A. And if you sort of do weird envelopes on them. Yeah, you can get some crazy tones and stuff. But yes, when you want three, you very rarely want three. Again, this sort of complex FM is better for pads and stuff, when you want to keep loads of stuff slightly moving. But yeah, that is. I use it sometimes, but not a lot. This one I use a lot, again because it's a very good combination of analog and FM. Let me just, if you've got A and C, again, now it's set up, it's like an analog synth, just C and A go into the output, or to the filter I mean, but absolutely no FM, and so I can detune them. I don't know if you can hear that. Make these nasty tones, and then I can bring in D will FM modulate C, and B can FM modulate A. You can see that here, the two separate. So so you can get these detuned analog sounds or re-sounds, and then have different FM on each one. So you've got that really thick sub bass. I don't know if you can hear that. Let me add some distortion so you can hear it. Might be too loud, but yeah, I'll pitch it up, and then so you can get these really thick sounds. It's really good for bass, this one, because you can do normal 2 detuned sub-oscillators, make them sine waves, pitch them down, but then do a bit of nice FM, so like you can get this really nice like bass drones. And then this one, let me just, this one is really good. I use this loads in techno. So it's like if I switch D off, there's no FM, so I can set up really detuned techno patches. I'll make them all saw wave. So what you've got here obviously is 3 oscillators just going to the output, absolutely no FM, and then D is going to do FM to all of them, so you can set up a nice sort of analog modeling patch. It gets quite nasty, like that, and then you can add FM to the whole lot, like that. And that's really good for like respaces, and if you cut it short for like EBM hits. I won't go into it now, but yeah. But so yeah, you have analog detuning and 1 FM operator, which is often all you need to them all. So you can get, yeah, you can go, it's really good and fat, and in both analog and digital senses. That's probably my favourite, most used one. And this one, let me just reset. This one, it's fairly obvious. It is 3 analog style operators. Again, all these 3, like the patch before, go to the output. There's no FM. Then D, if I add in D, it's only doing FM on C. So it's quite good for sub bass. If you want to make a thick G-tuned sub bass, again, I'll distort it so you can hear it a bit better if you haven't got good headphones or whatever. So if I make like a really thick sub bass like that with just these three, you want a pure sub bass tone, so you don't want digital FM synthesis to come in and like ruin the sub bass. It will take all the bass out of, but you might want some nice digital harmonics, so you're going to keep B and A unaffected, and the FM's only going to come in on C, which you can see here, which is quite good for if you've got like bass drones. So you still get all that sub bass. And you can still add like FM layers to it. But still keep all that like heavy sub. If you've got headphones on now, you can hear it. It's like a lot of sub. Yeah, and that's it. And then the last one, which is 100% analog, as I call it, they all go to the output. So yeah, that's it. I will do a more full, in-depth deep dive on everything in Operator, but I just thought I'd do that for the routings because a lot of people always ask me how to use them. And yeah. In brief, if you want full-on FM designing industrial sounds, I would use this one, the straight line down. If you want analog modeling, I would use the straight line across horizontal one. And if you want somewhere in between, I would use this one. So you get 3 fat analog style oscillators, and then 1 FM, or this one where you get 3 oscillator FM plus a sub bass. And they're my favourite, but yeah, that's what they all do. So yeah, I'll link to the main tutorial below, because there's a diagram of this and stuff in the full Operator tutorial on the website. So yeah, go and get that, and the free patches as well. And yeah, please like and subscribe. So yeah, that's it for me for today. Have a good day and good luck with your music making. Okay, take care. Goodbye.